from stating that he can totally beat up Paddy Pimblett to threatening to sue the heck out of the guy, Logan Paul has said a lot. And now he said that he's Paddy's daddy. But before that, let's recap a little bit. I'm going to talk about why there's beef between the two and why it keeps escalating. So here's the thing. Logan Paul and KSI own a sports drink company called Prime. Now, as we all know, Logan's a big UFC fan, so naturally, he signed a deal with the sport to get the word about his drink out. The deal is a multi-year global marketing partnership, and it represents an alliance between the fastest growing sport in the world and the fastest growing sports drink manufacturer. Logan will be pumping millions of dollars into the sport because of this deal. So a question arises, what's in it for Prime? Well, Prime's a new entrant into the beverage industry. It needs recognition. It needs trust to take on something like Red Bull or Gatorade. Now, with this deal, his company's gonna be integrated into key UFC assets. This includes pay-per-view and fight night, broadcast features, and surprisingly, branding inside the globally famous Octagon, something we've never seen before. At the same time, the company's gonna benefit from UFC's global footprint, because here's the thing about the UFC. It has an estimated reach of 900 million households in 175 countries. So it's really gonna take the brand global and turn it into a behemoth. Now here's what many folks are wondering. The UFC already has an amazing reach. It's growing rapidly, and it's got a boatload of money. So what's in it for the UFC? Well, first of all, doesn't matter how much money UFC's got, because more money can't hurt them now, can it? But there's more. UFC's gonna benefit from Logan and KSI's massive social media network. See, here's the thing about the pair. Including their channels on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, they have a collective reach of 400 million social media followers, so it's gonna make the sport popular amongst them. At the same time, Paul and KSI will collaborate on original content with the UFC, which means that the sport has a chance to engage with its fans. And it seems like Dana White knows just how important this deal is. Talking about it, he said that he's super excited about this partnership. He even stated that Prime is hot selling and the best tasting sports drink on the market. The guy even acknowledged that the drink itself has millions of fans globally, a network that he's excited to tap into. Oh, and of course, he says that it doesn't matter if you're a professional or not. If you love working out, Prime is the drink for you. But it's not just Dana who's ecstatic. Take a look at what Logan Paul said. Logan Paul states that he's been a fan of the UFC for a very long time now, and the fact that he's been able to sign this deal makes him feel like he's checked something important off his bucket list. He also stated that together, both entities will become a global powerhouse. KSI also had a lot to say. KSI stated that he's looking forward to tapping into UFC's fan base to reach a massive audience. He's even excited to flex the company's marketing muscles to prove to everyone that the company is a force to be reckoned with. And no, for real, think about it. The company is kind of going in the same direction as Red Bull, because earlier in 2022, Prime even signed a deal with Arsenal. So the Austrian executives better watch their backs. Red Bull is everywhere in Formula One. Prime's gonna be everywhere in the UFC. But unlike Red Bull, or even Gatorade, Prime's got two types of drinks. It's got an energy drink and a hydration drink. So it really can end up toppling the two giants of the industry. Now I'll answer the question that's on everyone's minds. Where does Paddy Pimblett fit into all of this? Well, it all started when Paul called out the UFC fighter. Okay, look, I can already sense you guys heading into the comments to shout at me, because what does this even have to do with the drink, right? I promise it'll all make sense. Just hear me out a little more. So here's what happened. Logan Paul boxed Floyd Mayweather. That gave him all the confidence in the world. So he started feeling invincible and thought he could take on Paddy Pimblett. No. Don't just take my word for it. Take a look at what Logan said on the True Geordie podcast. I'm taking out Paddy the baddie, dude. I'm taking him out. Then, of course, as he should have, Paddy Pimblett responded. And let me tell you guys, he did not take it lightheartedly. Pimblett stated that whatever Logan's been doing is pretty much clout chasing.
Started giggling, lad. It made me night, because a couple of months ago he messaged me calling me a clout chaser. And who's the clout chaser now, son? Who's clout chasing who? Know what I mean?
He's just using Paddy's name to create hype around his own career and brand. Here, take a look at what Paddy said. Everyone knows what I do to him. He's wrestled in high school, but I have a Division I wrestler come over from the US. I wrestle better people.
Everyone knows what I do to him. Like, he's wrestled in high school. I have a Division I wrestler come over from the US who's wrestled at 84 kilo and out of North Carolina, chasing. Know what I mean? I have him, he comes in and wrestles with me.
So Paddy's not super worried about getting beaten up by Logan, to be honest. But here's the thing, the pair never fought, yet Logan had the last laugh. See, this is where it all starts to make sense. Paddy has been working with Applied Nutrition on a sports drink called Body Fuel. It rivals Logan's company. Yet, despite fighting in the UFC, Paddy's company was shunned by the sport or Prime. So it makes sense that Paddy's not exactly happy with this whole deal. The organization that he literally fights for signed a deal with someone he was beefing with. So you know what the baddie does? He gets dirty. Paddy posts a video online in which he compares Prime's hydration drink to his Body Fuel. In that video, he pours some sugar into his hand, stating that this is how much sugar is present in Prime. Looking at the video, one really can't tell how much sugar is actually in his hand, but he claims that it's 2 grams, which, you know, is the amount of sugar in Prime. He then states that Body Fuel has 0 sugar and that Prime is just an overhyped, overpriced Gatorade. Now, of course, Paul didn't exactly take this lightly. He states that Paddy's drink is cheap and it's a copycat. Logan even claims that this drink looks almost identical to Prime. Paul even states that the fact that Paddy's making comparison videos is pretty much a ripoff too, since Logan started it first. And at this point, Logan's mad. He says, I could technically sue the out of you. Told you this beef keeps getting dirty and dirty. Anyway, after that, Paul and KSI go live on Instagram to talk about their new partnership with the UFC. They talk about how great this all is, but most importantly, the pair make fun of Paddy Pimblett. Logan mentions that Paddy's sponsored by Prime now, and that he's coming for him. At this point, KSI completely loses it. He can't stop laughing. KSI points out that Paddy's not going to be able to promote his drink anymore because of this deal. And that's when Logan says the famous words, I'm Paddy's daddy now.
Damn. I'm Paddy's daddy now.
And then the pair erupt into laughter. And that's all for Logan's beef with KSI, which Logan's winning for now. Whose side are you on though? Logan and KSI or Paddy Pimblett? Do let me know down below. See y'all soon.